mountains.
We'll forge rivers.
We'll forge checks.
Come on.
The shaping grain is impossible to forge.
Never did the Cyclops hammers fall on Mars's armor forged for proof return.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Talk Word Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here with me today. In this explainer, we're going to dive deep into the meaning, the origin, and the really fascinating real-world usage of a truly powerful English word. We're exploring the literal and figurative journey of the word forge. So let's just jump right in, because this is one of those words that paints an incredibly vivid picture in your mind once you actually understand where it comes from.
But first, I want you to think about a question that might seem a little weird at first glance. How do we shape metal and minds? It sounds almost like magic, doesn't it? Seriously, think about how a heavy, sweaty, physical action, something that requires just immense muscle and blistering heat, can somehow transform into an abstract concept, a concept we use to describe our human thoughts, our relationships, and really, our whole lives. Just keep that in the back of your mind as we go.
All right, part 1, the blacksmith's fire. To really grasp this word, we've got to look at its foundation. Forge functions as both a noun and a verb, and knowing the difference is absolutely essential. As a noun, a forge is a very specific, tangible thing. It's a special furnace where metal is heated until it glows incredibly hot. That's the literal place. But as an action, as a verb, to forge means to form or make something, specifically by heating that metal and relentlessly hammering it into a new shape. You aren't just making something lightly here, you're literally beating it into existence with sheer effort. It's a total sensory experience. Heat, pressure, strength, creation. I want you to actually feel those words. You know, building a strong physical memory of what a base word represents is basically a cheat code for remembering English vocabulary. When a blacksmith forges a tool, you've got that intense heat to soften rigid steel. You've got the immense pressure of the hammer, the physical strength required to swing it. And finally, through all of that sweat and effort, you get creation. You're making something permanent.
Which brings us to part 2, shaping minds and ideas.
There's this beautiful concept from our source material today, titled The Art of the Forge, Shaping Metal and Minds. And this bridges the gap so perfectly. Just as a blacksmith uses fire and a hammer to shape raw, stubborn metal into a useful tool, or, say, a beautiful sword, we as humans use time, effort, and shared experiences to shape our thoughts, our ideas, and our connections with other people. The physical act actually becomes a psychological and social act.
Think about it like this. Making a true, lifelong friend isn't always easy, is it? It takes a lot of effort. You have to go through high-pressure situations together. It takes strength and time. The intense effort needed to shape heavy steel applies perfectly to building strong, lasting human connections. So, when you tell someone you forged a friendship, you're really telling them that this relationship is strong, it's been tested, and it's built to last. So how do we actually use this today? Let's look at Section 3, Real-World English Usage. You've probably heard native speakers use these phrases all the time. Forge an alliance, forge a new path, forge a partnership, forge ahead. Notice the theme? They all carry that exact same underlying idea of strong, deliberate, and forward-moving creation. If a business forges a partnership, they didn't just sign a piece of paper. They worked really hard to build a solid bond. If you forge a new path in your career, you're cutting through the brush, making something brand new through your own sheer effort. And to forge ahead just means pushing forward strongly, even when things get really difficult. It's an incredibly positive, active word.
Now, language can be a bit tricky, and, well, words often have shadows. There's a pretty stark contrast we need to talk about. On one side, we have forging a sword, which, as we know, is all about creation and strength. But on the exact opposite side, we have forging a signature, and that is all about deception. This is the slightly darker alternative meaning of the word. Just as a blacksmith artificially shapes metal, a person can use a pen to artificially create a fake document.
Let's look at a few quick examples so you have a totally complete, well-rounded grasp of this dual nature. You might hear on the news about a forged document, which just means a fake document designed to trick someone, or a forged painting, an illegal copy of a masterpiece. And the noun for this kind of criminal act? That's forgery. It still involves the concept of making or creating something, but the intent is to deceive. Context is literally everything here. When it's about relationships or your career path, forging is a positive strength. When it's about documents or art, forging is a fake.
All right, wrapping up with Section 4, Keep Forging with Talk Word.
We have taken an amazing journey today, right? Starting from the literal sparks of a blacksmith's furnace, all the way to everyday conversations about friendships and, well, art crimes. So it leads me to ask you, are you ready to forge ahead with your English? Seriously, every single new word you truly understand, deeply and thoroughly, like we've done today, is a heavy hammer strike shaping your fluency. It takes heat, and it definitely takes pressure, but man, the creation is so worth it.
Now, if you loved diving deep into the history, the visuals, and the real-world power of this word, then you are absolutely going to love the TalkWord Companion app. I highly encourage you to download the TalkWord app right now. It's packed with podcast-style explanations of literally any English word you want to master, giving you this exact kind of fun, structured, engaging breakdown. Thanks so much for joining me in the Forge today. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.